everyone, it's Candy, and this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and today I want to talk about anxiety. I have had anxiety ever since I can remember. I didn't know what it was as a child, like what that feeling was. I just knew that I was always pretty much uncomfortable, and so I didn't realize what that was until later on in life, and I had a therapist or something tell me that I had anxiety. To me, at some points, it has been literally like debilitating to where I couldn't leave my house at some points, to where I've had to leave places that I'm in because I've gotten such bad like social anxiety from being in those places. To where now it's way less frequent than it used to be. This is how the Mayo Clinic describes anxiety. Experiencing occasional anxiety is a normal part of life. However, people with anxiety disorders frequently have intense, excessive, and persistent worry and fear about everyday situations. Often, anxiety disorders involve repeated episodes of sudden feelings of intense anxiety and fear or terror that reach a peak within minutes and typically create panic attacks. These feelings of anxiety and panic interfere with daily activities, are difficult to control, are out of proportion to the actual danger, and can last a long time. Symptoms may start during childhood or the teen years and continue into adulthood. Examples of anxiety disorders include social anxiety disorder, check, they also call that social phobia, specific phobias, and separation anxiety disorder. A person can have more than one anxiety disorder. Sometimes anxiety results from a medical condition that needs treatment. Whatever form of anxiety you have, treatment can help. Now, I have been through all kinds of treatment for anxiety. I have went the medical route to where they give you benzos. I'm anti-benzos, really. I have a very, very dear friend of mine who became super addicted to benzos, and I watched her completely fall apart. So specifically for me, I'm not really into that. You have to do what's good for you, though. You really have to do what's good for you. Whatever route you choose to take, do not judge yourself and do not allow others to judge you. Anxiety is a very, very hard thing to deal with. It is so, so hard, and I understand, I so understand. There are so many things I've missed out in life because of my anxiety. Like I said, my journey's probably been about a 10-year, a real solid 5-year of really, really trying to manage all of my disorders. But within the last 10 years is when I started really trying to have some kind of different look on things, because it's not fun being stuck in your house. It's not fun wishing you could be at the beach with your friends, or at a birthday party with your friends, or out to dinner with your friends, or fucking be able to have friends. Those things are real situations with anxiety. Those events you can't do. It's not some people don't understand it. They don't understand that you can't just walk out of your house and everything just be okay sometimes, So, know that you're definitely not alone, at all. What's so funny? The more that I talk about it, the more people in my life have the same issues. The more people tell me, yeah, I have that too, or yeah, I thought I might, but nobody wants anything. Everybody wants to be perfect, We don't want it to be a disorder or something wrong with us. I embrace those things now because it makes me who I am, and I try to understand my disorders more, and therefore I try to manage them better. everybody does, like, everybody manages or deals with their anxiety different. So, for example, Pete, my fiance, he typically hermits up whenever he's very anxious. He hermits up and doesn't really fuck with the outside world. I don't like to fuck with people whenever I have serious anxiety or serious anxiety attack, but I get the anxiety fuels like anger in me, and I get really loud and angry and nasty and just negative. I get very negative when I'm really anxious, and I really got tired of being that way, so I try to manage it better now. I try to, I guess control it, if you want to call it that, whatever. But I started doing like exposure therapy. So exposure therapy, if you don't know what it is, it's kind of, I don't know what the textbook definition is, but basically doing something that would typically be something like you wouldn't do. So like, for example, maybe I wouldn't go out to eat with my friends because I have an anxiety about that. Well, the more I force myself to go, now it's no big deal for me to go hang out. Now, there are some days that I feel anxious just in general, and it has nothing to do with whatever, just one of those days. And so I may not be able to do it, but the percentage of me flaking out has dropped, actually. Instead, I was going to say the percentages went up of me doing things, but which it has, but I used to flake out a lot, and it was really hard to explain to people why you flake out. Like today, I just woke up and I can't go out of my house. I can't go out of my fucking house. I have social anxiety so bad to that point sometimes. So especially being like in a crowded place on a Saturday night, which is totally weird because, like, over 10 years ago, it would be nothing for me to go out. I was like a party girl, so it was no big deal. But when I look back at that, I was fueling it with, like, drugs and alcohol, right? So, you know, it's so crazy just how anxiety, how you have spikes and how you have different times in your life and how it works differently in different situations and how we're all affected differently by it. My dad deals with it differently. My sister deals with it differently. My fiance, we all have anxiety and we all deal with it so different. And it just shows you that, like, we always want to kind of typically, even though we know people judge us, we typically want to judge other people. We want to be like, oh, well, I do it this way. Why can't you do it that way? And I'm very guilty of doing that. And I'm trying so hard within the last year to really focus and understand that it's not always the same for everybody, because there are things other people do that I can't do. So just keep that in mind whenever we're trying, especially when we're trying to help other people, you know. We get so mad when, like, they don't follow our advice or do it our way. At least I used to. I'm doing much better with it, but get so angry when people don't listen to you. And you have to realize that they're going to do whatever they want to either way, whether they lie to you or they blatantly just don't listen to you, and you can't let it affect you. You did your part. If you didn't want to give the advice or you didn't want to fuck around and spend a lot of time with them, then just tell them, hey, listen, I know you're just going to do whatever anyhow, whatever. But if you sit there and you give your time, don't expect, you know, just give your time, that's all. And your advice, I guess. And if they don't listen, that's all. Speaking of advice, I want to give you guys a couple of things that help me with my anxiety when I'm having serious panic disorders and serious anxiety attacks. There are a few things that really help me. Typically, because my anxiety fuels serious mania and rage, I can't concentrate for long periods of time. So what will happen is I have to have several different outlets. So typically I'll go to like a journal first. So I recommend journaling if you have any sort of, I recommend journaling to anyone who just wants to just get out their thoughts and maybe definitely not be judged for it, because it's only you that should be reading it. And just so you put your ideas down. Maybe you forget about them later. Maybe you forgot how you felt, or maybe you want to go back and you want to remember how you felt when something happened. You can always go back and read, and it does sometimes give you warm fuzzies. Sometimes it makes you sad that you felt that way. And then other times, like for me, if I go back and read, I see how how far I've come, or I'll see a pattern with certain things on why, like, I get so anxious. So I really, really, really love journaling. I've done it for years and years and years. My sister journals, I know that, and even my nieces, I believe, journal. So I just think it's so important to just help with your psyche, and just sometimes you need to talk to yourself and have a chat out with yourself. As you guys know, I've told you several times, I'm not really a reader. I don't really do very good with reading. I'm sorry, I keep scratching, but I got like a hair. I don't know. I'm not really a reader, but I will read self-help books until the cows come home, literally. So right now I am reading The Gifts of Imperfection. I've been on this for a while because I haven't really had a lot of time to read. I really should sit down and read it, by Brené Brown. So far it's been a great book, and this is a book that everybody talks about reading. I would definitely recommend it. It's a short book, and the writing is pretty big. So like, if you're not a reader like me, see, it's pretty big. It's like, oh, I just lost my bookmark out of it. Oh goodness, I'll remember. But I just think it's great to do that sometimes. I love Dr. Seuss, and not only do I love Dr. Seuss, but this is really cool because it's kind of like daily affirmations, but not really. It says Seussisms, a guide to life for those just starting out and those already on their way. And it's just from different Dr. Seuss books, like just different little sayings. I love this little book to just go and, like, this one says try new things, which is basically telling you to try new things. And it says, I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. You do not like them, so you say, try them, and you may. Try them, and you may, I say. So basically, just reminding, you know what? Sometimes we say we don't like things, or sometimes this is not how I do things, but try it. I just had this conversation with my sister the other day. Like, she has serious anxiety too, and we were talking about something, and I was like, why can't you just try? Like, why can't you just call these people and just try? You don't know until you try, you know, just thinking. But once again, that's our anxiety. That's our doom and gloom. That's our anxiety. That's what it does to us. But one day you just baby steps, you know. You can't let it consume you. You cannot let it consume you. We have one life to live. You need to live it. Stop letting these things consume us and define us. Yeah, fuck it, I've got anxiety. Guess what? Hey girl, hey, you know, I can't go today because I have really bad anxiety. I'll try to pick it up next time, whatever. Don't feel bad for it. It happens. And if people want to judge you for it, then don't have them in your life. The best therapy is being able to talk about it and be real about it, being like, this is who I am, this is what it does. And I mean, I hope eventually you can get there too, because it has been so relieving for me. Back to one more thing that really helps me when I have anxiety is coloring. I don't know if you guys have ever, as a kid, don't we love to color? And then now they have adult coloring books. I don't know how long they've had them. This one's a very, thick one, and it's got different, sections in it. I'm going to do a video on these more soon. But look, so you sit and you color. And if you're anxious and you can only color a little, there's some in here. I don't know if I can't find it right now. But there's one in here, there's a couple in here that I've started coloring a little bit, and my anxiety just won't let me sit and concentrate, and no big deal. But guess what? You had 5 minutes of time that you just sat there and just focused on something and tried. You know, it takes sometimes a minute to calm down, or 30 or 40 or 2 hours, or sometimes it takes a long time. So just try to find things that'll make you just try to calm down and focus. And when you can do that, when you can calm down and focus, then you can be like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad. Maybe, I got through it much faster this time. Exposure therapy, for me, touching door handles is a big deal. So sometimes I'll see how many door handles I can touch in a day. Not really in my own home, it's fine, but in public, I have a really hard time with that. So I will, on days that I'm feeling like, I can do this, come on, you can do this. I go through and I touch 4 door handles that day, and that's a big accomplishment for me. And it's a big deal to me, and it makes me proud of myself for doing it. And then I talk about it with Pete, and he's like, yeah, that's really good, and it makes it so much better. So just talk it out with people. If you ever need someone to talk it out with, find me anywhere on the internet. I'm literally like Candy Calistar everywhere. So you can find me on Twitter at Candy Calistar. Find me on Facebook. I'm actually Miss Candy Calistar on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube here, Miss Candy Calistar channel. Instagram, Candy Calistar. All the messengers, AIM, Yahoo. I don't go on there much, but I do have them and do check them from time to time. Candy Calistar. If you need to email me, candycalistar@gmail.com or Google Plus. I don't use them much, but I'm Candy Calistar there, and I'll be happy to talk with you about anything and try to help you, because I had the worst anxiety, guys. You guys don't know, and I mean, I have so many friends that can tell you, or my sister definitely can tell you, like, there were times I would not go to freaking Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning because my anxiety was so bad. And my fiance tells me stories of his anxiety being so bad before he met me that, like, he would literally tell his sister to bring him back home. Like, he would get, like, not even out of the neighborhood and tell his sister, like, take me back home. I can't do it. And that's real life situations from even the most social of people. When I started telling people I had really serious social anxiety, they didn't believe me. They thought, like, yeah, everybody has a little bit of anxiety. I said, no, you really don't understand. There are days that like job interviews, I have thrown up at job interviews because my anxiety is so, especially job interviews, is so bad. And when I tell people that, they're like, no way, you ran like multi-million-dollar stores and you're so social and you're a party girl and you did. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand, like, what I was going through inside. Like, that's when I was self-harming to deal with it, and it was just so crazy living a fake life, you know. And I don't know if it was fake so much because I am an outgoing person, but the anxiety keeps me kept me. It doesn't so much anymore, but kept me, like, so not reserved, I don't know the word. Like, I would want to go do something. I would want to go to a friend's birthday party, but, like, my anxiety of new people and how they would judge me and, you know, how I would act because I'm socially awkward sometimes. All of that would just be like so crazy, and then I would have mania because of an anger and get sick and get migraines, and it was totally fucking crazy. And the only thing that's really changed is that I have a partner that I can talk to honestly about it, that understands me and gets me and has been through it. The fact that I can talk about it openly and honestly with my friends and my family and anybody that doesn't accept it or doesn't want to listen to me or thinks I'm weird or whatever, I just eliminate from my life because I don't need people who aren't supportive of me in my life. So that's my really experience with anxiety. Don't let it cripple you. I mean, I know sometimes you can't help it. It's so hard to say don't let it happen. And then, like, I understand both sides of it. But I promise you that if you really try to work it, like, if you really try to, like, really dedicate yourself to changing it and maybe doing, for me, exposure therapy really has been helping. And because once you do it, like, the thing is, you have all this fear and anxiety, and then once you do it, you're like, that's it. That was it. And then the next time it's not so bad, and then you actually have a good time, and you look back at the pictures and you go, oh my God, I'm so glad I went to that party. I'm so glad that I did this time and didn't say no. And it's a good feeling, and knowing that you can go do things with the people you love and have fun and make memories and live your life. So helping manage it has been wonderful for me, and I really hope you found a way to manage yours too. And if not, just know there's so many outlets online that you can research and reach out to. There's also therapy sessions that you can go to. There's even any kind of meetings locally, especially in bigger areas. There are meetings that you can go to where you have people just like you, and there are forums online with people that have anxiety that are afraid to talk about it with people around them, or activists that will talk to you about it. So guys, just know that you matter, you're worth it, you're important. Just because maybe you have anxiety or depression or any sort of mental or physical illness does not make you any less of a human being that deserves every single thing that you want in life. If you or someone you know is feeling hopeless or suicidal or sad or just need someone to talk to, you can always call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.